The state of Minnesota released new measures Friday to combat the spread of coronavirus. This as the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases has grown. Governor Tim Walz declared a peacetime emergency due to the outbreak. The declaration will help the state respond more rapidly to issues as they arrive. As we went to air, there were 14 confirmed COVID-19 cases in Minnesota. The Department of Health announced 5 more positive tests on Friday. All of the cases are related to travel exposure. There's no evidence yet of community transmission. The Department of Health recommends canceling or postponing events of 250 people or more. The Minnesota State High School girls basketball tournament was set to enter its 3rd day of play with limited attendance until it was canceled Friday morning. The section and state boys basketball tournaments were also called off. Robbinsdale area schools closed Friday after a parent came into contact with a person who tested positive for COVID-19. Reporter Pafua Yang has more details.
Shannon, the parent reported that they were in the gym at Forest Elementary on Wednesday during parent pickup. That's when they encountered an individual who's tested positive for COVID-19. Forest Elementary Principal Melissa Jackson immediately called the parent and instructed the parent to contact the Minnesota Department of Health hotline to determine next steps. The health department recommends that the parent keep their student home until further instructions. The parent is not currently showing any symptoms, but the district says they will remain in contact with the parent and continue to monitor the situation. The district says in response they are working to thoroughly clean and sanitize the gym and parent pickup areas. The Minnesota Department of Health is recommending that schools reduce large gatherings and to limit visitors into buildings. The Wayzata School District sent a letter to staff and families on Thursday informing about its plans. The Wayzata District will be canceling all after-school activities, all evening and weekend community classes and facility rentals, and field trips and other off-campus learning experiences through April 6. The Wayzata School District says they are working to put together online and other learning experiences for students in the event that it must close schools. School officials say they will be taking directions from health experts, including the Minnesota Department of Health and the CDC. Reporting in Crystal, Pafua Yang, CCX News.
The COVID-19 outbreak is also changing the workplace. At the Golden Valley headquarters of General Mills, workers who are able will work from home until at least April 1st. The Department of Health recommends staggering work schedules and limiting non-essential work travel. The coronavirus outbreak has people preparing for possible quarantine situations. We get that story now from Eric Nelson.
Here at the Costco in Maple Grove, it's been controlled chaos. They've had their 2nd busiest day in recent months. There has been a steady stream of people coming and going, getting basic essentials.
It is bananas in there. Everyone is grabbing carts, grabbing toilet paper, grabbing everything off the shelves.
It was a parade of shopping carts in the Costco parking lot. The COVID-19 pandemic is real, and some people are taking no chances as they stock up on basic supplies.
It was ridiculous. It was so busy, and everybody's got toilet paper.
Toilet paper is 1 per person, 1 per customer, so that's all you can get.
It was a little bit of like a traffic jam sometimes, but mostly everyone was nice.
Meanwhile, at Olmsted's grocery store in Crystal, anyone searching for toilet paper on this Friday was out of luck.
It's been difficult to get it, and people have been buying it in a panic mode.
The shelves were empty. The store ran out.
I'm pretty confident I got more bath tissue coming tomorrow. There are certain things like hand sanitizers that could be a few weeks.
Another popular item is bottled water. It's going fast too. Jim Olmsted has been in the grocery business for 5 decades, and he's never seen anything quite like this.
There's a lot more panic and a lot more concern. There's a lot more unknowns. So it's not like when a snowstorm comes, when people know it's coming and they know how to deal with it.
In this quickly changing world we are now in, this is the new definition of March Madness. People scrambling to stores to get the basics in case they have to hunker down. In Maple Grove, I'm Eric Nelson, CCX News.
The coronavirus outbreak is also changing the way local churches operate. Reporter Sonia Goen shows us what St. Joseph the Worker Catholic community is doing to protect his parishioners.
We live by faith, not by actions and certainly not by fear.
Churchgoers gathered for early morning services at St. Joseph the Worker Catholic Community to observe the season of Lent.
It's almost ironic for us, I think, as church, to say that during the season of Lent we're going to have to go through this reflection because the virus has been forced upon us.
Father Mike Sullivan doesn't want to alarm the congregation, but he does want them to be aware.
God does not invite us to get together for the intention of getting sick. At the same token, we need to be very, very careful.
There are several noticeable changes. Several hand sanitizer dispensers are scattered throughout the church.
We're trying to get ahead of the curve because we don't want folks to get sick.
Churchgoers will no longer pass a collection plate from one another, and there's no holding hands during the service.
We're no longer distributing from the cup. We're asking folks not to hold hands during the Our Father, not to shake hands during the sign of peace.
And daily mass has been moved from this small chapel to the larger sanctuary to give churchgoers more space. The Catholic Church also canceled several events and programs.
So any kind of adult education we've got has all been canceled. The fish fry we were going to have, that's been canceled.
And although the Archbishop lifted the responsibility of going to church, there are some who would rather serve God in the sanctuary than at home.
It gives me grace and it fills me, and there's just something about the church community that's important to my life.
In Maple Grove, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
And a reminder for you, all of our local coverage of the coronavirus outbreak can be found on our website. It's right on the homepage. Just go to ccxmedia.org.
The Minnesota State High School League announced Friday morning that the rest of the state girls basketball tournament, remaining section boys basketball finals, and next week's state boys basketball tournaments have all been canceled. It turns out the games held Thursday night were the last ones to be played in Minnesota. That included Maple Grove and Buffalo playing in the Section 8 4A final. Maple Grove takes the lead early. Rashawn Parker drives for two in a 9-8 lead. We'll see Parker again in a key moment. Lavelle Williams had a strong game, repeatedly breaking down the Bison defense. He scores 17 points and the Crimson lead 20-12. Caden Betcher also had a big night. He gets the friendly bounce on the rim for 3 of his 18 points. Maple Grove leads by 13 at this point, and they're up 8 at halftime. Second half, and Buffalo charges back. Their star Matt Willard buries a 3. Bison go in front 38-36. Trevor Johnson with a nice hesitation dribble and gets to the hoop. Buffalo's lead grows to as much as 6 points. It's a great game down the stretch. Betcher hits a 3 and there's a foul away from the play on Buffalo. Turns into a 5-point trip for Maple Grove. Willard almost pulls this one out for Buffalo. This 3 gives the Bison a 49-46 lead. He scores 30 in the game. The lead changes hands late, and Maple Grove gets the last big shot. Parker sinks a long 3 with about 30 seconds to go to give Maple Grove the lead for good. They celebrate a section title with a 54-52 win. Parker talked about the key last moments.
Before, my coach was he believed in me, so when he told me to take the shot, I took the shot. We talked about playing defense and play defense how we know we can, and just stop Matt from getting his open threes.
Hopkins beat Stillwater in last season's state girls basketball championship game. The two were matched up in the Class 4A semifinals Thursday night at Williams Arena on what turned out to be the final night of the season. Hopkins defense caused chaos all night for Stillwater. Amaya Battle sets up Taylor Woodson after the steal for early 2 points. Maya Najee with nice footwork gets herself free in the lane for the one-handed shot, 12 points in the game for the Royal sophomore. Paige Beckers drains a 3 from the left wing to put Hopkins ahead 19-4. Beckers finishes the night with 15 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, and 6 steals. The Ponies pulled to within 10 points at halftime, but Hopkins pulls away again in the second half. Battle to Najee for 2 more, and the lead is 13 points. And then Beckers with a no-look pass to Woodson in the paint. Woodson with 21 points in the game to lead all scores. Hopkins dominates Stillwater 66-40 for their 62nd straight win.
We're just lucky to come out of there, and they're really well coached. They compete. Unfortunately for them, I've got Paige Beckers. She makes everybody else good out there.
Hopkins finishes the season with a 30-0 record. Farmington was the other Class 4A semifinal winner. Providence Academy played just one state tournament game. The Lions were scheduled to play Friday night in the Class 2A semifinals. The Heritage Christian Academy girls were in the state Class A tournament for the third straight season. They had a tough go of it, though, in the quarterfinals. They faced Waterville-Elysian-Morristown. Annika Miller floats a pass. Jordan Allen scores for HCA. Kirsten Robbins to Taylor Shuck. She cans a three-pointer to put the Eagles up 7-4. But then the Buccaneers go on a run. Brielle Bartlett takes the outlet pass and scores, giving her team a 15-11 lead. Shuck zips to the hoop and scores. She leads the Eagles with 19 points. Bartlett hits a 15-footer. WEM is up 25-15 at halftime. And she's tough for Heritage to defend. She'll stroke a three-pointer early in the second half and leads all scorers with 23 points. Torrin Richards takes the pass and drives and scores. The Buccaneers start the second half on an 11-0 scoring run. Heritage loses 58-46, ending their season.